No. Hello everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to our institution of Global Professional Free Webinar. Thank you all for joining and stay with us till the end. My lovely audience, today I am your host for the afternoon. My name is Yarni Sakhtar and I am from Bangladesh. Uh, Dear audience, I am proud to be associated IGP as a global member. I feel honored and privileged to host this webinar. It's my delight to welcome you all to our Institution of Global Professional Free Webinar. Thank you all for joining us today in this marvelous afternoon. And it's my humble request to all of you to stay with us till the end. And don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friends in the comment box. Institution Global Professionals serves student and community resource, providing holistic social works and education for create a competent generation. IGP is a leading on online skill development institute with thousands of learners worldwide. Institution of Global Professional is an educational institution provide social work with globally recognized. We organized our webinar training offline online courses is by based and trained speakers and coaches from all the world. Our mission is empower people. We have already completed 991 webinars successfully. Let me remind you again to no, don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friends. And let's watch together and learn together. Now we go for our webinar. Our webinar today, our webinar number is 992, and our webinar topic is leadership. You as a leader. And our speaker name is Professor Dr. H. Ambe Mehrun Mia. She's from South Africa. She is a CEO founder the Mia Company, global speaker, lecturer, transformational coaching, leader, multiply global award winner. Now let's invite our speaker. Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you? Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam, ma'am. I'm fine. You?
I'm very well, thank you.
Thank you. Ma'am, you have to give some description about yourself, then you can start your presentation. Or do you have
Sure.
any slide? Do you have any slide?
No, I'll just be speaking. Thank you.
Okay, okay, no problem, ma'am. Okay, you can start.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I greet everyone in the universe the greeting of peace and blessings. Regarding myself, I will just merely say that I am a humble servant of my Creator. I am a daughter and a mom, and I am the founder of the MIA company, MEA company, that stands for Motivate, Empower, and Advance. I'm a multiple global award winner on various platforms. My specialization is, of course, transformational life coaching, the psyche, working on you, working for you, and trying to develop you to become the best version of you. Especially my role is to be able to make sure I reach as many women and children across the globe. Inshallah, that will be achieved by God's blessings and with God's guidance as well. I am honored to be here today and thank you, IGP. Thank you to everyone who is responsible for putting this together. It is wonderful when all of us are able to share whatever knowledge we have, and of course, to be able to grow when we learn with each other and from each other. Together with my various portfolios, I am also an honorary professor in education with the IIU, and I belong to multiple organizations like the IDYM, GEN, GEF, etc., etc. So multiple fields of mine, yes, but each of them is to try to reach people, try to reach humanity, to grow people to become who they need to be for the best versions of themselves and to live the best of their lives because they are, of course, the gift unto themselves first. And as such, they are able to and must be able to live the best of their lives on their life's journey. To begin with today's topic we are talking about leadership and you as a leader. And I want to begin by merely saying, this concept of leadership is something that is discussed a lot. We have had multiple webinars on various platforms. You can pick up on many, many aspects of this topic if you have to Google it, if you go to YouTube, etc., etc. I want to talk about leadership, though, in a different avenue today, and that is about you as an individual, as a leader. So, when we say leadership, when I say this concept, when I mention this word leadership, what is it that actually comes to your mind? What comes to the mind of somebody when we talk of a leader, leadership of someone? Something that comes to mind would be I'm referring to somebody who's certified to do something, who has a qualification to do something, or is a leader because they certified or qualified to be the leader. Or you probably think of somebody who's voted in or people have selected to have the role of being a leader, so therefore they're in the leadership role. But ultimately, what you are saying to yourself when I speak of leadership or someone else as a leader, you will think of somebody who seems to be better than you. You will think of somebody who's better than others, more equipped than others. So someone who's kind of more superior to others because of his specific quality, and that makes them lead. That makes them become the leader, so they have the leadership role, the leadership qualities. Correct? So let me then run a few questions by you. When you are home and suddenly something goes wrong in your home, be it something small, be it something big, but you are home, what is it that you are going to do? Are you going to merely sit back and allow for whatever's wrong to keep going wrong? Or are you going to get up and try to make what's wrong stop and become right? If it's a plumbing problem, if there's a little fault with your light or electricity or the globe, are you not going to go and try and make it better, change that what is wrong into something that is right? And if you are not able to do that, are you not going to try to learn how to do it? Or are you not going to call somebody in who will be able to do it for you because you want to make that wrong right in your home? Because obviously it's your home, it's your comfort space. You want to make things good. You want to make whatever's wrong right. Correct? One of the other roles I play, which is I'm very passionate about, is I am the president of the Successful One Academy here in South Africa. And through this academy, we try and reach many, many people to educate them, especially to transform your mindset. And I'm bringing on this role that I play because I want you to understand and see yourself and envision yourself right now in your home with the same analogy that I've just used. Let's just take the light bulb that's gone out. You don't know how to put a light bulb back in. You don't know how to even understand the first thing about electricity. But it's your home. So you're going to call in an electrician because you know of one and you're going to make them come in. They're going to make things better. They're going to put the light bulb in and everything's going to be light. You're going to be okay. What is it about what I'm saying to you that has anything to do with leadership? Pause that. Let's just say you're walking somewhere and you're seeing somebody either sick or injured or an elderly person who suddenly needs help. Human nature, is it that we are going to be able to just go out and reach out and say to somebody, can I just help you do this? Can I help this old person cross the road? Besides being the humanitarian, isn't that not something that you might just do? If you are a woman who is watching this right now, and if you have kids and you have one of them who's allergic to something, and then you have your husband or you have your home that you are dealing with, do you realize that you have multiple decisions that you are taking from the time of everyone waking up that morning until the time everybody and yourself goes to bed? Multiple decisions, what to cook, how to make things right, to make sure your home is clean and tidy so that everyone is happy with their home, when they're home, everybody's comfortable, and those that are allergic to stuff are not taking or eating anything that's going to make them sick, etc., etc. You're making sure everything is done properly because this is what you are equipped to do, right? So now I'm going to pose to you that every scenario that I have just given you, every analogy that I've just spoken about, has a leader in it already, has somebody that is already taken on the leadership role to make something that is wrong right.
Can you see this? In the role of the women that I just spoke about, the analogy of the women in the household, you as a woman right now, you are already such an amazing leader because you take on so many leadership qualities, from being a wife or a daughter to being the mom or whomever, whatever role you're playing in that home, but you are making sure everything is getting done. And you automatically have to take decisions upon decisions upon decisions, and you don't even sometimes realize you're doing this, but you are. You are taking these decisions because that is the leadership quality you already have within you. That's the mom role, that's the daughter role, that's the you as a woman role. You already innately such an amazing leader. Go to the person, the analogy I used about where you went to stop to help someone. You went to go to help somebody, and you just figured, you know what, I can't do this, so I'm going to help this person. That is you taking charge of a situation where no one else is doing that. You are being able to take on the leader role, to give the leadership quality to what is needed to make what is wrong for somebody right. You already did that. You've helped this person so much. You've taken on leadership qualities, leading role, you've done it. And then go to that analogy I spoke about you in the electrical thing in your home, the globe that you couldn't fix yourself. So it's your home. You lead in this home because it's your home. So it's yours to maintain, to sustain, to do everything about, but you don't know how to make that right. So you take on this leading quality of decisiveness and you say, I'm going to call in who I know is a professional who can make this right, who can make it better. So you select someone that you know is going to be able to change that light bulb for you, and they come in and they make it right. That is you taking the leadership quality into play to make yourself the leader and making what's wrong right. Can you, in these small little examples that I've given you, they're not academic examples. I am an academic, yes, but I'm not here to give academia to somebody. I'm here to give a message to somebody. And in the three examples I've just given you, can you resonate with the fact that anyone and everyone has leadership qualities within them? So leadership is not necessarily just the political leader that is elected to govern. Leadership qualities is not just somebody who is a chairperson of an organization, who sits at the head of a board. Leadership qualities are already innate within each one of us. And if I tell you right now, leadership qualities already exist within your child, our children of the world, our youth of the world, they're already leaders. I teach my daughter this. You are a leader already now, today. You are the future of tomorrow, but you are a leader already now in who you are, in what you are, and what you are doing. So all you are doing is you are preparing your leadership qualities and your qualities as the leader for your betterment of your tomorrow. Every single one of us. So can you resonate with the three examples or analogies I have just given you? Does it make sense then that you as the leader is possible? In none of those examples I gave you did I mention that the person who is qualified or who does the leadership quality or leading role, in none of those analogies I used earlier did I say that that person went first to study the leadership qualities, to study what leadership meant, to study how to lead. In each of those analogies, it was instantaneous, it was immediate, and it was a response-driven with a result-driven exercise. Why did I mention these? I mentioned every one of these, and I'm mentioning it now because you as a leader, as a person, in your individual capacity is vital. Because it is the foundation of everything you do as a leader. It starts with this fundamental question that each one of us needs to ask ourselves. How can I lead? How can I lead first myself? How can I lead my family, those around me? But how can I lead from a position of respect? How can I lead from a position of trust and loyalty? The answer to this question and the basis of gaining this respect, trust, and loyalty of people around you, whether it's your home, whether it's your organization, is not just in how you actually lead, but it's actually what they see in you as the kind of person that you are. How are you in your relationships? How do you build your relationships with others? How do you act? For example, go back to the analogies that I spoke of. Did you take on those roles calmly? Were you supportive? Were you likable while there was still the hubbub and the issue of, I need to do this and what am I going to do? Did you panic when that happened, or did you just calmly take it on? Are you an angry, critical, and demanding somebody, or are you a calm, collective, and I can deal with this somebody? So understanding who you are is going to help you figure out how best you can be a leader. So, who are you? Answer you now, right now, about yourself. Who are you? And the answer to this question is not simple. Sometimes, if I have to ask a client who comes into my door for a therapy session or counseling, or even when I go out to do the humanitarian exercises or workshops or whomever, if I meet somebody, very often, if I say to somebody, so who are you? I would get told either a name, so I am Mehreen. If I say, who are you? They say, well, I'm a teacher. Why do people define themselves in terms of a role they play and not the individual that they are? So who are you? When you have to answer this question, remember there are very many almost layers to the question that influence what your answer is, because who you are begins with a set of your firstly inborn attributes and then of course what you grew up into becoming. And we know from research and science and data and whatever I've studied psychologically, and I'm sure many people who are listening to this can also confer, research shows us the characteristics that you are born with actually do inculcate who you can become, but you can grow them or diminish them as time progresses. So if you have to talk about, and we know life is energy, okay? You are energy. If you know this, then ask yourself, what is your natural energy level right now? Are you relaxed or are you full of energy? How do you respond when people and situations get a little bit tricky? Do you tend to actually dive in and do something? Or would you rather just observe first and then I'll suss out, so to speak, and then I'll decide whether or what needs to get done? If you have to look at adaptability as a concept, are you able to adapt to change easily? Or do you have to be very uncomfortable first and you're resistant to change? So you have to grow into a situation or a scenario to actually adapt. When it comes to your mood, are you somebody who's generally happy or unhappy? Do you tend to kind of view other people and situations positively or negatively as soon as they're there? And when you have to talk about emotions, emotionally, how do you respond to an emotional situation? How do you react to strong emotions? How do you act when strong emotions are around you? Are you acting positively, negatively? Are you even acting at all? The reason I'm asking some questions, and some of them might be difficult ones, because you're probably listening to me and saying, well, I can't really answer this right now. You're not supposed to answer it right now. You're supposed to write it down, or you're supposed to think about this, because the whole idea is for you to try and find the essence of the leading quality you have inside you. And the key is to understanding who you are. And understanding you means you have to be open. And this openness to your experience, this being able to understand these emotional qualities, the moods, the adaptabilities, your energies, to be able to understand all of these and how you receive the universe and whatever is happening around you, these are key things. It's key for you to understand whether you have the sense of consciousness about you, the way you are deliberate and careful about certain things, Or are you detailed? Are you orientated to become, I have to be a perfectionist? Are you an outgoing somebody? Are you a social somebody? Are you an impulsive somebody? Or are you very careful about everything all the time? So yes, we are born with many, many, many qualities that are innate within us. One of them is leadership. One of them is you can lead. You can actually take decisions, good decisions, clear decisions, decisive decisions. It is our choices that we make when the decisions we take go wrong. That innate capability you have, yes, it is there. You know, there is a saying that many people use, and they say, you are a born leader. And if you are, well and good. But everyone is born a leader. You just have to nurture the sense of leadership within you to have the big impact it requires. And the values that you adopt from your upbringing, from your life's experiences, these are powerful influences on who you are. So I asked the question, who are you? Go back into introspecting you, your life, what has happened to get you to this point today. And you will find how each aspect has actually influenced who you've become. It's influenced your leading capabilities, your leading capacities. And from there, you will determine what your values are that make you you. How have you managed to set your priorities in your life? And where and how are you committing your time, your energy, so that you are able to lead yourself into the best of your days that you are spending? For example, go back into reviewing your integrity, your hard work, your fairness, your curiosity. Are you part of a team? Do you work well in a team? About your ethics, your passion. Everything about you needs a little bit of introspection, and you will identify which of these attributes and beliefs you hold true to yourself, which of them work for you as a strength, which of them are weak for you that you need to let go of. Because the attitudes and the beliefs that you hold about yourself, others in the world also contribute to you becoming who you are. So an attitude, remember, is your evaluation of something or someone. And you have to understand your own about yourself before you try and say, well, I need to make sure A, B, and C is happy with me. You have to have the knowledge. You have to have the skill sets that impact who you are and how you lead. Because your leadership is going to be guided by whatever you consider are your strengths in these areas. And you will very likely either avoid what is going to downsize you, or you will perhaps delegate it to somebody who has expertise and skills in that area. And here I'm talking about, for example, what I spoke about at the beginning. You have the ability to be able to run your home, sustain your home, maintain your home. But when the light bulb went off, you didn't know how to actually fit the new globe. What did you do then? You took on the leadership role. You understood and analyzed yourself and knew, I can't change this, but I do need a change. It's essential. So you called in somebody else who has the expertise, and that person came and did what they wanted to. And it made things easier for you. So here is where you are able to become more knowledgeable about yourself and know what about you can enhance and what about you can't enhance. The whole idea, though, is to try and understand that I have got to be mindful. You have got to be mindful. Observe yourself in these various roles as a leader, and then evaluate its effectiveness on whether you're getting a positive outcome, positive result, or is it a negative one. So all about leadership is not just about governance. I want us to understand this. Leadership is crucial in governance, whether it's corporate governance, political governance, etc., etc., etc. I mean, we have got to have certain commercial governance rules and structures for leadership to be positively impactful so that we can all survive across the globe. But today's topic is not about that kind of leadership. Today's topic is about you as an individual and the leader within you. So when we're talking about you, who knows you best other than you knowing you yourself? And to know you yourself, you have got to understand you. So you have to observe yourself in various roles that you play. Observe yourself as the leader. Observe yourself in certain points of examples in your life. How did you do things? How did you come out of a situation that was actually once very, very difficult? What would you do if you saw yourself in a situation now that somebody else is in? So there are many, many resources you can go to that can help you, that can guide you, that can better you. There are workshops that are being held all the time. You owe it to yourself to actually find out more about it. But I'm going to now speak a little bit about this concept of you as the leader inside you. And I'm going to talk a little bit about a few points, a few signs that you might have already within you to help you along your way to see you as the leader. So, like I said earlier, many people refer to the term of you're born a leader, right? That you can be drawn into leadership and you can have the leaderly positions because you grow into the leading qualities. And so when you think about leadership, remember, as I said earlier, most often we think about it as something that is deserved or earned by somebody, but it's always being seen as something above you. And I'm here to tell you leadership is across the board. Every one of us is leaders. But leaders are actually what we create. Your leadership qualities within you are what you need to create. And many leaders that walk around us as leaders, me as a leader right now, a leading woman in the world, I take on my responsibilities very, very seriously, especially as a woman, because there are so many different encounters that I have that require my leadership skills to be innate. And that means I need to continuously grow. I need to continuously learn. There is never enough that I know. There's never going to be enough knowledge. I'm a lifelong learner. And that's what any leader has got to know. You never know everything if you're sitting in as a leader. And part of you being that leader is you have to lead by example. Leading by example means I have to be what I expect from somebody else. I have to know what I'm expecting from that person too. So being aware of your own leadership means that you have got to know yourself best. Develop yourself best. You have got to, look around you right now. You're seeing so many leaders around you, correct? But all of them are from all kinds of places. They're across the globe. They're across every position, every place, every company. And some of the greatest leaders that you are ever going to meet are not even aware that they're such massive, great leaders. So you right now are a leader. So I'm going to talk about a few points and I want you to ask yourself whether you see yourself in this. Do you have an open mind? Do you have an open mind where you seek other people's opinions about stuff before you do something? Are people drawn to you because you are so open to what other people might say, what their opinions are? Yes, today is not just about me sitting here and just talking and talking. I'm asking questions. And I'm asking pertinent questions that you need to please either write down or you need to actually work on for yourself. If you can answer them for yourself immediately, all the better. But I'm trying to show you the leader in you. So, are you somebody who has this open mind? Are you somebody who is able to actually take in somebody else's opinion when you have to do something before you take a decision, etc.? Is that you? Because if so, that's one of the qualities and traits of a leader. How often is it that we actually love to take in what people think? Many people say, I don't care what people think. This is me. Yes, you are entitled to be that way. But sometimes as leaders, it is good to take in what other ideas are about the same concept that you are trying to figure out. It's not necessary that you're going to actually act on what one person has said. But taking in different variables allows for you to have different notions, different understandings of that one particular concept. Because how I may see something 10 people would see it in a different way, and that might contribute to my actual decision at the end of the day as a leader. So, do you have this open mind where you are able to take in opinions from other people before you take a decision? Another thing, do people count on you right now? Do people rely on you? Because if they do, then obviously they must trust you. If they are relying on you, then they trust you to actually follow through and deliver on whatever you are promising. And if that's the case, then obviously you are somebody who holds yourself accountable, and you are able to demonstrate this day in and day out. And people then try to come to you when they're having the difficult patches, because they know that you can give advice, you can counsel them, you're able to listen. And what then does that mean? It means that you are able to empathize. It means that you are able to find that gap that they are searching for. You're able to find the filler for them. So, do you offer this? Do you offer this kind of advice to people? Are you somebody people often come to because they need to talk? They need an answer. They kind of need a sense of direction, so they would come to you because they're counting on you for that. They rely on you. They trust in your judgment. They trust in your decision-making process. If people seem to seek out and value what you say, are you not then a leader? It doesn't need you to have a certificate in your hand to say you're one. It just merely means that people around you right now are so comfortable with you and how you are as a person, how you yourself are living your life, how you are taking decisions, and how you are leading by example, that makes them feel drawn to you. Perhaps because you're a good listener and people confide in you. Because being able to listen to others, having people speak to you frankly without worrying about who you'll go to tell and how you might use their knowledge against them, these are signs of strong leadership. Of course, not to mention that you are just then a nice person. But if you understand that listening is more important sometimes than speaking, and if people know that they can actually really confide in you, you are already a leader. The other thing that is very key, is what I said earlier about you leading by example. Do you tend to see that when you speak, when you're doing stuff, whatever it is, do you suddenly find that there are other people kind of following you, but you don't know, they don't tell you this, but you tend to notice it in their behavior. You tend to notice it even in their vocabulary. I'm giving this webinar now, for example. I might tomorrow or the next day or another time hear somebody speaking my words that I'm spoken here today. It's very often I give off a lecture or I do a workshop or I give a webinar, etc. And then I listen to sometimes even whether it's a radio presenter or whomever actually using my words or my work. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed that sometimes what you give off, other people latch onto and they try and use or implement? It's not necessarily something bad, because all it means is that you are a good leader. It means that you are doing something right that others are wishing and wanting to be or do. Is that not something excellent? Does that not mean that others are following your example? Because the most powerful form of leadership is not persuasion, it's not argument, it's not force, but just example. You leading by example is the best form of leadership. Whether times are good, whether times are bad, people notice who is present at that time. People will notice who is effective in making something better at the time. People will notice who is working hard without distraction when things are difficult. But when that person is you, others will naturally follow you. And that makes you an excellent leader. So even if you are someone trying to run a little house business and you suddenly find copycats that are trying to do the same as you who make things difficult for you, just keep running your race because you are already your own leader. Just keep doing what you do best because you do you best. If you are somebody who has this positive attitude, you're positive, you're optimistic, and people tend to come to you and they're around you and you make them happy and laugh. This positive outlook doesn't blind you to problems. It doesn't mean you're ignoring everything that's negative that's around you. It doesn't mean that you don't have problems of your own. It just allows for you to seek out something good in almost every situation. And you know that eventually things will be all right because you have this kind of spirit within you that keeps yourself motivated, it keeps others motivated, and it spreads this optimism around you. People love that. It's part of your leadership quality. You treat people with respect. Knowledge. Yes. I mean, I look at myself. I always teach of myself as an example. I always. Everything I teach, everything I say, everything I give off is from my own life's journey. So right now, what I'm giving you is stuff that I haven't just got off what I studied in textbook or what's on any website, etc. It's stuff that I'm talking about because I live through it. I am it. I live it. I am my own living example of being this leader that I'm talking about. So knowledge gives me power, but that power is for me. So if I have to send you my bio or my profile, for example, it is long. That is by God's grace. Alhamdulillah. I'm honored and I'm grateful for that. I'm honored to Him and I give blessings to my parents for my education. But that knowledge gives me power. It gives me the smartness. It gives me the intelligence. I can have 50 certificates. I can have multiple doctorates like I have. I have multiple accolades. But it all means nothing until you actually give off back to humanity something positive with it. This is why I will continue to learn. But what comes with this knowledge and the power of the knowledge? What comes with this you being so smart and you learning and continuously learning? And that is your advantage, of course. Respect is what comes with this. When you are somebody who has this kind of knowledge and you are able to give it off in this most beautiful manner that you create and want to build other people to be the best they can be as well. This is you respecting yourself as well as respecting humanity. So you are respecting others. When you respect others, you yourself will get respect back in return. And if you look for this good in everyone, and if you respect others for who they are, then it is very likely that people will hold you in high esteem. Does that not make you a leader? That would automatically make you care about others. That humanitarian part of you makes you care about other people. I spoke about this analogy earlier when we said there's somebody who's just walking and watching somebody who needs help and you stop to help them. You care. Caring for each other builds humanity. No matter where you are in the world right now, the world needs each of us to become one, to unite in our essence of being, of wanting the best for each other, of peace and building in love and unity. That's what we wish for. We guide, we share our knowledge like we're doing right now, and we want to build each other so that we can help each other achieve success. We don't want to hold it to ourselves. Everybody needs to grow. Everybody needs to be the best they can be, and everyone can. And if you care about the well-being of other people and you do the little bit that you can do to benefit others around you, aren't you a leader? You are a woman. I gave you an example earlier, and you're doing this in your home the whole day. You're making sure everybody is cared for. Doesn't that make you a leader? Leaders are confident. They are passionate with what they do. And most people are always watching each other, like I said earlier. They're looking for the cues or they're looking about how to behave. But you being confident in your own skin, you being confident in who you are, that moves you with a sense of assurance and your passion, and that must allow you to just keep growing. And as you keep growing, help others to grow with you. Now, each of these things that I've just spoken of, the confidence level, how you treat people with respect, how others follow you by example, what makes you the good listener. I spoke about people that can count on you. I spoke about how you can offer advice to people. why people will come to you. I spoke about you being open-minded and confident and passionate and this humanitarian side of you. Every single thing that I have just spoken about, do you not have all of this within you already? These are qualities each of you have as the leader you already are. Can you see you now, you as a leader? Today's topic, leadership, you as a leader. Can you now see you as a leader? Because you are. Leadership in itself, if we have to look at the definition, leadership in itself is an act of guiding a team or you as a person or an individual per se. And what are you guiding them towards? You're guiding them to achieve this goal that they have through direction and motivation. And leaders, good leaders, encourage others to take the actions that they need for them to also succeed. So what are we saying? To be this great leader, you have to learn and you have to cultivate your own skills to make it effective so that other people can grow from it. I've just given you a whole rundown of stuff about you as a person in your individual capacity as a leader. That is your leadership. You're already guiding yourself. You're already guiding your family. You're already guiding in your community. You're already setting the direction for your children. You're already motivating yourself to keep going even in the difficult times you are facing today in this world. But the one thing I want everybody to remember, if you are facing adversities, if you are facing these difficulties, the adversity that you are facing is actually a window of opportunity. As difficult as it may be, whatever it is you may be going through, the leader inside you needs to realize that that adversity is your opportunity to grow through this. Do not allow for the difficulty to make you weak. It must become your sense of strength. The definition of leadership: to influence, inspire, and help others to become the best of themselves. Do this for you first. Some of us are already doing it. We're just so unaware that we're doing it ourselves. I'm pointing it out to you today because this is what today's topic is about, you. The best version of who you are, the best version of the leader you can be, is somebody who's going to build and keep building and keep learning more, achieve more goals. You don't have to be the CEO of a company. You don't have to be the manager of a huge corporate entity. You don't even have to be part of a team leader or a team to be able to lead or be a team leader. Leadership is not about what we think it is about. Leadership is just a set of skills that you have. It's a certain specific kind of psychology that you need to maintain. Leadership is a set of skills. It is a type of psychology you maintain, and any one of us can master that essence of that psychology. And this little portion that I've just spoken to you about is something I read in Tony Robbins' book. It's amazing because it is so true. You don't have to be the scientist. You don't have to be the CEO. You don't have to be the acclaimed leader, the chosen leader. You are already the leader because all it takes is a specific mind frame. It takes a specific you to understand you. And that you is the true essence of who you are, the authentic you. Get to know yourself better, because the thing about leadership is that a lot of people either don't understand it or they refuse to believe that everyone can actually be the leader. People sometimes are so comfortable with other people ruling, other people leading, other people above them. They grow into this phase of I'm beneath the balance. Life does not teach us this. Life, every one of us is the balance. We have to be on par with each other, respect each other, grow together. So everyone can be the leader. There is no single answer to what is leadership, because it isn't something you're born with or without, for that matter. But like I said just now, leadership is a very powerful skill. And over time, you can develop it to the best that it can be. And great leaders
Great leaders, if we have to look into history at every great leaders don't follow just single parts, so they don't have a specific personality type that we can go to study, or a specific psyche, mindset, etc. In fact, you can actually look at yourself right now. Look at yourself. The leadership roles that you in your life are currently playing. Do you realize you're playing them? When this is over, rewind this segment and go back to answer each question that I have posed today. What makes a good leader? Really ask yourself that. What really does make a good leader? And how can you sharpen your own leading skills, your own leadership skills? How do you sharpen it and tweak it so that it works for you and your career and your life? Because I can sit and I can give you multiple entries of what works as a leader. What's the best qualities of a leader? But how does that work for you? Because every individual is different. Every individual has an individuality. That individuality has a separate personality attached to it with different character traits. And only you understand that about you. So I will conclude by merely saying, find you, develop you. So find that leader in you and develop those leadership skills, because a true, authentic you will develop the true, authentic leader within you. And when you are a true leader and an authentic leader, and you find that true leader within you, then you are going to make the biggest impact on your own life positively. Positive impacts will allow you to make clear, concise, positive decisions. And that is going to have a catalyst effect to people around you. So I want every one of us to know we are each a leader. You are a leader. Leadership is you. So you are your own leader. Therefore, in today's topic, leadership, you as the leader, now go back and answer those questions. You are leadership. Leadership is you, and you are the leader. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and thank you everyone for watching. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, ma'am, for your speech. It is very informative speech. Now it's time for our quiz competition. After completed quiz competition, we come back again in our question answer session. Okay, ma'am.
Sure.
Okay. You have to wait for some minutes. Dear participant, now we'll go our quiz session. To join this session, you have to go slido.com, then you have to enter the code. And the code is IGP2. The code is IGP2. After short video, we will start our quiz session. So let's enjoy our quiz session. Dear participant, it's time for our quiz session. So mention your friends to join our quiz session. To join this session, you have to go slido.com, then you have to enter the code, and the code is IGB2. We will pick your name from Slido, so join with your full name, which will enter directly freedom certificates, and top 10 will be awarded with quiz completion certificates. Already 35 people join our session. We are still waiting for your joining, so please everyone join early in our session. After 1 minute later, we start our quiz competition. So please everyone join in our quiz session and mention your friends to join the quiz. Now we start our quiz competition. First question: a leader must first um, option always lead with the objectives in mind. Second option always make decisions that are popular to his people. And the correct answer is option one. First option always lead with the objectives in mind, and 80% people are right. And our leaderboard top ranker is Jananial Villar Visaration. Second question: an autocratic leader will first option tell employees what to do. Second option consult with employees. And the correct answer is option one tell employees what to do, and 83% people are right. Now we go for our third question. Leadership skills can be first option both, second option develop. And the correct answer is develop, and 100% people are right. And now our top ranker is Dennis going to Serso. Fourth long question: aesthetic leadership or dash leadership. First option beautiful, second option pleasing. and 25% people say the beautiful, and 75% people say pleasing. And the correct answer is beautiful, and 25% people are right. And our top ranker is Charlene Yamaguchi. Fifth no question. A paternalistic leader acts as a first option dictator, second option father figure or parent. And the correct answer is uh, option 2, father figure or parent, and 85% people are right. Now we go our sixth question. A characteristic of authentic leadership is first option integrity, second option egotistical. The correct answer is integrity, and 97% people are right. Now going for our seven long question. Manager and leader can be used interchangeably, but is it true or false? And the correct answer is false, and 36% people are right. And again, our top ranker is Cherilyn Kalizo Yamaguchi. Our eighth now question. Can anybody become a servant leader? Is it true or false? And 82% people say the option 1 true, and only 18% people say the option 2 false. And the correct answer is false, and 18% people are right. Now go for our ninth question. What is autocratic leadership? First option control over all decision. Second option open to others ideas. The correct answer is control over all decision, and 82% people are right. Now our last question. Democratic leadership style incorporates first option testing and cooperation, second option testing and consulting. And the correct answer is testing and consulting, and 32% people are right. Congratulations, Dennis going to Sirso. He is our top ranker. Then in our second position, Charlene Kalizu Yamaguchi. In third position, Jemima Bisabielo. And in fourth position, Daryl Imperial. And in fifth position, Joel Aparico Barnasa. Congratulations, our top 10 quiz competition winner. Today we have all of your name which you entered during journey. We will pick and prepare certificate and we post them on our Facebook official page. Our Facebook official page is Institution of Global Professional. Now we go for our question answer session. Participator request to ask their question in our comment box. Please address speaker name. After question answer, we will share certification process. After short video, we start the quick question answer session. So let's enjoy the question answer session. Welcome back, everyone. We'll go ahead and take some time for question now. Just a reminder, please be sure to type your question into our comment box. Let's now we invite welcome back our ma'am. Ma'am, welcome back again.
Thank you.
Uh, Dear participant, if you have any question, you can ask in our comment box. We are waiting for your question. Ma'am, our first question from Jannatul Firdaus. Assalamu alaikum, madam. Would you please tell me are leadership and management the same thing?
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you for your question, Janatul Firdaus. Leadership and management are two different skills. If you are able to be an excellent manager of your life, of your staff, of your company, you will be able to develop even better leadership skills. If you have to take, for example, what exactly does it mean for you to run your home? It means you need to be able to manage certain time frames. You'll be able to need to be able to manage your tasks. That is management. But when you have to take decisions and you have to do stuff, that is you being a leader. So they inculcate into each other, they link directly to each other, but they're two separate concepts. Which is why, for example, if you look at a corporate entity, you will have somebody who is the executor, and then you will have other managers that are underneath that executor, because they manage specific tasks and skills, and they have a leader who oversees that. So it inculcates into each other, but they're actually two separate concepts. I hope
Okay,
that
ma'am.
answers your question.
Thank you. Ma'am, our second question from Danis Sirso. Hello, dear sorry. From Flomi Ragwal, Salvizu. Good afternoon, ma'am. How can a leader have a strategic leadership?
I'm sorry, how can a leader?
How can a leader have a strategic leadership?
Sure, thank you very much for the question. Strategic leadership is all about what you wish to accomplish. So if you, for example, are sitting in a leadership role, you know what your outcome or desire is, you are outcome driven, you know what your result is, what you are looking for. You obviously then need to sit and decipher what exactly are the strategies that would work for me to gain my end result. So if you are running a factory, for example, that needs to rush out 20,000 pairs of shoes, you need to know that you need the leather, you need the material, you need A, B, and C, and D, and this is the strategy that will work because this is your deadline for that to come out. So strategic leadership is defined as to what your productivity line is and what your end result and what your goal-driven results need to be. So that's what strategic leadership would be about. Thank you so much for the question.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, our third question from Gulshan Ara. What sort of leadership skills you would suggest for school leaders at primary level of education?
Thank you so much, Gulshan, for your question. If you are referring to the actual learner themselves, the students themselves, then it will be very important for us to teach them and get them involved in certain activities. Try to get the children to become more involved and give them um, perhaps projects or programs they can do for themselves. So involve them in certain areas of what would you like them to see. So if you're giving the child, if you're giving a group of 10 children a project to do, try not to tell them how to do the project. Try to tell them this is the project title and this is what you want the end of the project to be like. Allow for the children then to develop what they think the steps are that need to be taken for them to get that end result, because that then brings out their leadership qualities, it brings out their skills development, it allows for them to grow themselves.
Okay, ma'am.
Educator and the teacher and how they can better develop themselves as a teacher, it's all about your skills. If you are somebody who's specializing in a specific field of a specific subject, then it's up to you to keep growing yourself in your developmental stages and keep growing you in your role. But if you wish to actually divulge, and I always try and tell every educator I meet, don't stick to just one subject, because that one subject is not all. It's nowadays teachers are actually taking on more than one subject when they're trying to teach. So it's amazing how our teachers nowadays are able to teach more than one subject, specialize in more than one field. And does that now not tell you educators are such fantastic leaders already because they take care of all of our children as well. So I hope I answer your question.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, our next question from Sophia Maria. Which supporting skills do you think are more important for a leader?
Thank you so much, Sophia, for your question. When it comes to skills of a leader, I spoke today of many skills that everyone has already within themselves. If you want to grow and develop your skills to become more supportive, the number one key thing that you need to do is become more involved with knowing yourself better. And once you know yourself even better, you will then be able to go and say to yourself, okay, this is the strength that I wish to actually grow further. This is a weak point of mine which I need to either develop or get rid of because it's not working for me. So if you have to look at skill sets and developmental skill sets of what works for you, the first thing you have to do is identify these for yourself and know what works for you and what doesn't. But it is very important for you to know what the skills are that you need to grow into for you to be the better leader you can be.
Uh, it's look like we covered all of our question. Uh, is there anything else you wanted to tell our participant?
Well, I think I would just like to leave every participant with one thing that is for everyone to know you are already the leader within you. Do not necessarily think everybody else is the leader around you and you need to follow. If you have to look at different quotations, if you have to go and find, for example, what other people say and what other people do, sometimes that's not necessarily what works for you. So try and find what works best for you as you. Because remember, you are your own unique person. You are your own unique gift unto yourself. And as much as you would love others to lead you because it might be the easy way out, you being the best leader for you and creating the best version of you to be the best leader you can be is probably what works better for you and your family and your community around you. So it starts with you as the leader for yourself. And if you are a leader in any organization, if you are a leader in any, even if it is of a country, please understand that your leadership is needed for the betterment of the people, not just for you yourself. So it needs for you to know your people, understand your people, and work together with them to grow as a better country, as a better development for each of them themselves. We cannot have the barriers anymore. We need to break down the barriers, and the governance structures need to be able to know I need to not just be a leader for myself, I need to make sure my people are being taken care of. And the key for that is, of course, education and their own leading qualities, which we have to get renewed for them. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for your wonderful speech. Please accept our profound thanks for taking out the time from your busy schedule and to present this speech. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you very
I
much.
everyone can learn from your speech. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Walaikum assalam, ma'am. Dear participant, it's time for our give you certificates code. So wait for some minutes. Today our webinar topic is leadership. You as a leader. Uh, and the code is IGB 5689 and the code is 5689. How to claim your e-certificates? First, you have to go to www.eduigp.com, then click sign in, then you have to log in. If you already have an account uh, or create a new account if you are new. Once logged in, click free webinars and select the webinar's title and click continue course and get enrolled. Type the code in your certification code and the code is IGP5689 and the code is IGP5689 and click get your certificates. It is auto downloadable in PDF file already. And the certificate code is IGP5689. Without code, no one is eligible for certificates. With code, you can claim your certificates anytime. Thank you everyone for your active participation. Our mission is to empower our youth, so stay with us and by your support. We accept that you all are getting a little bit benefit in personal and professional life and wish that you all are remaining with us in long journey. See you again in our next session. Stay happy and blessed. Thank you everyone.